Once Ham has his lighting set up, we can begin.
Get my lighting in order here. That's good enough.
Good enough?
Super bright.
All right, yeah, things are flashing. I guess things are working. So we'll do this thing. It's February 16th, 2014, and you're watching Mods on Air.
2 FPS, 3 RPGs, and 5 sim-type games.
Yeah.
I think you'd be able to come up with one here.
I'm actually pulling this one hard.
Ask all the people that need hacks to play Call of Duty. I can hear you groaning inwardly every time Sin's mentioned. You're just cringing.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 414 of Mods on Air, bringing you the week in gaming news as modding developers and gamers ourselves. I am Foilman. Also on the show today, we have with us Welshie. Hello, Welshie.
Hello.
Hello, and
I
we also...
hear somebody got engaged over the last few days.
That might have happened, yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Congrats.
Yeah, wonderful woman, Kalina. Okay, also on the show today, we have with us Ham. Hello, Ham.
Hey, everybody.
And we have with us Breezy. Hello, Breezy.
Hello.
Hello. So before we begin, let me remind you all that this show is recorded live. Things may happen spur of the moment. Who knows? Things could crash even, and we could just disappear, never be seen again. The world could end. But you're here to watch it all live, and or you can watch it on Friday or whenever over at the MODSonair.com website when I release all of the past episodes, including this one. There may be some adult language or themes, so if that kind of stuff offends you, maybe you don't want to watch. Probably won't be so bad, but, you know.
But maybe you do want to watch.
If you're easily offended, you don't want to watch, regardless
Maybe
of
you
the
just like being offended.
topic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If that's your thing, then
If that's
stay
your
tuned.
thing, fuck you.
All right, so we have...
Angry letters, but we will ignore them.
Actually, we might even read them on air.
No, yeah.
Okay, so we have some stuff to talk about this week. First of all, I thought it was humorous to see this one here. EA sent out some beta codes, right? Did EA send them? I think EA sent... Well, EA's title's on the top of it. EA sent out some beta codes for those people that signed up to be on the beta. However, they may have sent you the beta code for something you did not sign up for, such as if you signed up for PC, they sent you Xbox, or if you signed up for Xbox, they sent you PC, or something like, something like that.
I like it. Did
So
any
they're
of you
on-
actually sign up for a PC copy?
No.
I did.
I did.
No,
I signed
you
up.
Did.
I didn't get
I
an
was going
email.
to, but I forgot.
Are you kidding? I'm going to sign up. Of course I'm going to sign up. I got to see what this is.
You just want to get the username. I know your game.
That may be an inspiration, but I want to know what we're in for. Whether or not this is going to be garbage or mediocre or good. You know, that could be
I
surprising.
could both.
You know, like the Lego Movie. I think it's going to be garbage, but
I
well,
thought it
she
was amazing.
begs to differ. Exactly.
You just have no soul. That's what it is. That movie was fucking hilarious.
A lot of people thought it was good. I haven't seen it yet.
I'll see it when it ends up online. I don't know if this game's going to be any good or not, but it's funny that they're already messing things up by sending out that kind of information. And so the Xbox One issued their open beta out to people so that they can start playing. I think they can start playing, but anyway, what they did was they opened up the beta, and PC will be following up soon. I don't know when.
But that would mean I'd have to install Origin.
March 11th?
again.
Yep.
Yes. You're going to have Origin. I don't know.
Right.
But
I'm
for
not a
those
big
of...
fan of having Origin.
No, but
Nobody is.
you have to for some games. That is, if you want to play any EA game, you're pretty much locked into it. I
But
happen to play
haven't
Battlefield
played
4.
an EA game since I reformatted my PC.
Hmm.
So that's how much I've wanted to play them, that I not even installed Origin again.
Me too, but I only reformatted like 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago. So, it's not a good
Yeah, I am.
gauge.
I am almost in that camp where it's like if it's EA, I'll just take the hit and just not buy.
Not play
something.
it, yeah.
Yeah. I have absolutely no interest in playing this. Oh, for two reasons. One, it's EA, and the other reason it's Zampella and West, who basically went, we're the greatest ever! So,
Yeah.
yeah, not gonna do it.
No, that does bug me too.
But if, if they want to send me a free
I'd like
copy,
to play
I
it,
would,
but not own it. I'd like to play it to see what it's like, but I wouldn't want to play it on my computer.
I
That's
can
quite
s-
funny.
If
I
I
can see
went over
myself-
someone's house and they had it on their Xbox, I would play it.
Yeah.
But
It's
Okay.
kind of like saying, I want to do drag racing, but I don't really want to do it in my car.
I can't.
hmm That's interesting. Jono over there says he watched somebody play it on Twitch,
Yeah.
but how is that? Is it because Xbox One is streaming? Because I know PS4 is streaming. I
I
know
believe they can, yeah.
PC will stream, but they're not open yet. So what were they streaming
I-
from? I guess Xbox.
And he may have seen somebody different from me, but I saw someone playing, and it was I don't know if they were playing the PC or the Xbox version, but they weren't streaming directly from an Xbox because there was a video camera, you could see the little guy's face along with a
The guy
separate video
playing.
for the
Okay.
yeah.
I wonder what they were playing from. But it does seem that Twitch is doing pretty good. I know I have a topic in here, and for some reason I suddenly cannot find it. But Twitch is supposed to be hitting like a huge number of players now, pretty much because it's almost like
It's number
there.
29.
It's right there plugged into your face that 1 million people are streaming gameplay on Twitch because of the consoles. You know, the consoles just have this button like the PlayStation 4, share. Well, boom, you're online. That's why they also had some issues with naked people playing games for a while.
Sorry about that.
He's an exhibitionist. What can you say?
I love it. I like to feel comfy when I'm gaming.
He wanted to share.
Oh.
So
It's pretty easy to stream to Twitch, even if you've got a PC, though. It's not
It is.
difficult.
we're doing it now.
Yeah, exactly.
The thing
Right here,
with that
right
is,
now.
though, is you just end up with that website full of
Call of Duty playthroughs.
Call of Duty playthroughs, and not even like anything that I would deem as worth watching. You know, you have people that do Twitch and they do like commentaries and they do previews for games that aren't out yet, and that's good, that's fine. But then now you're just full of people just playing like Xbox. What am I gonna do tonight? Play Xbox. I'm gonna stream it on Twitch. Why?
Because it's there. That's it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
because you can.
Yeah. Like, I just feel like that ruins their quality of content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's keep going and talking about EA because EA has supposedly released a package or something more for Battlefield 4. But the question,
They've announced the package, haven't they?
I thought it was
Am I wrong in saying that?
Yeah. Well, it's they've announced a new expansion. So
Right,
basically,
that's-
well, I think what this article is, I've only read like the first 2 lines, but so we're Fox News at this point. But I think it's that they've announced a new DLC expansion. But the game is still broken. Is where this is going.
exactly, and they promised last time we talked about this like 2 or 3 weeks
It
ago
was
how
like
they
2 weeks
promised
ago, wasn't it? Yeah.
they were not going to release anything until everything was fixed, and here they are.
It's our
And so-
number one priority.
So the question is it
We
fixed?
said this in the show. We said this would happen. Oh look, we're not gonna release anything. We're gonna fix it all, and then as soon as everyone goes, "Oh, good," straight away, now here's the new expansion.
Right.
And you know what they'll do is they'll fix it, probably, maybe.
Maybe.
But what they'll do is package that fix in with this DLC.
Yeah,
So
but
now you have to get the DLC.
the problem with
Yeah,
every
right.
fix, it breaks something. And that's
Yeah.
always been their MO on that. Always.
Yeah. So
Maybe
we'll
they
see
got
what
like a quota of bugs they need to have in their games.
yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, we fixed something. Quick, change the other bits.
It's
It's fixed
It-
because we won't do any more patching.
they have the problem with the programmers, and I can understand how the problem can occur, but it really only occurs when you have incompetent programmers because they go in to fix something and they don't go and look at what it affects everywhere else.
Yeah. And it's EA and it's DICE, 2 massive companies, or at least EA, and DICE, which is a established studio. They have no excuse. Sorry. Like, if it was a tiny little indie studio with 3 guys, it's like, yeah, no worries, you know, it's 3 of you. But when it's like a huge thing, and it's not as if they haven't done a couple of Battlefield games before.
Right. It's-
Like, it's no excuse. There's no excuse for, oh, the game's broken. What's funny about this article is if you look at it on Kotaku, right next to it, there's related EA won't work on new Battlefield DLC until flawed game is
Yes.
pretty hilarious.
So,
It's ridiculous. I don't know how they could just fail so hard with this game. I mean, I know sometimes you put out patches and it does break things. Case in point, Counter-Strike put out a patch a week ago, 2 weeks ago, that did change up some gameplay. And literally 3 days after, maybe not even that, the patch came out and fixed it.
Yeah, so there you go. Someone at Valve
Straight
was like,
away. Yeah, you can do it.
Yeah, and fixed it. It's just like, it's ridiculous. It's to the point of that they just don't care. They're making their money. They just don't care. That's it. EA particularly does not care about you if you bought this game.
Yeah, if you think about it, they have your money.
Yeah,
They don't care.
They got what they were after. Anything
you think-
else is just an expense where they lose more
Yeah,
money?
that's quite a good point there. It's not broken on their computers. It's your computer's fault.
and I don't think these are platform-specific issues, right?
No, I think these are just game issues,
Yeah.
aren't they? They're not.
I think so. Because I can understand an issue, platform-specific, because as computers progress, more and more parts are manufactured and created, and you have more and more permutations to have to deal with.
Yeah, I just don't understand though. I've said it in previous shows, but I just don't understand because it's so close to Battlefield 3 in terms of how it plays and what it looks like. I just don't understand how this could be so broken.
Because Battlefield 3 was broken.
That's the reason why these guys don't play.
Not fix problems.
The reason why we don't all play Battlefield 4 is because there were all those issues with Battlefield 3
And Origin.
Yeah.
and Origin. But
That's true. That's accurate.
if the game was great, you guys would have given in and put in Origin.
Yeah, I would have. I did with Battlefield 3
Maybe.
when
Sure.
everyone was playing Battlefield 3. But it was just getting to the point where it was the fun was not equal to the stress of
Yes,
the broken game.
right.
I don't know if I would necessarily would. If it was different, if there was some reason to go play, even if it was like worked flawlessly, it's still the same as Battlefield 3. Like if there was something new and exciting, maybe like a Titan-esque mode from 21.
Which is supposed to be coming
Yeah, right.
as part of this DLC.
Yeah, we'll see.
Bullshit.
I know what you
That's
mean,
what it
though.
says on the article anyway.
Yeah,
Alright.
it does.
Yeah.
I don't believe it until it comes. Titan-esque is not Titan.
Yeah, Titan.
Okay, well, maybe what they need to do is open it up for more mods. Let the modders fix it. Right? That's what
Yeah,
they used to do with a number of games.
That's not gonna happen.
No, it's not going to happen, but I think that would make a big deal. I mean, that's what's going on with this game, Rust? Right? They open up to modders and let them start doing things, and even if it's just minor. But Rust now comes across and says, we're going to... Which, by the way, this game, Rust, is still in beta or alpha? It's one of those two, right?
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
beta.
And so they open it up for beta players, and these people are playing, and some of them are running cheats, like major cheats, not just like little hacks here and there. So the developers come across and ban 4,000 cheaters from the game, theoretically forever. Not just from playing the alpha or beta, that this is the alpha or beta that's out there, we caught you guys cheating, we're going to ban you. That's it, you're done.
It's actually an alpha stage, so I
Okay.
was wrong there.
I think that's too harsh.
Really?
And I have to wonder if that can open it up to a lawsuit, because these people put down money for a game. They happen to be given a beta, and now they're being pulled. They gave them money, and now they can't access the game. And it's not even released.
But Valve does this.
Good point.
Yeah.
Valve does this with released games, not alphas or betas.
Well, true, but isn't using cheats and hacks breaking your terms of service?
Probably. I didn't read the TOS.
Software, yeah, on the user license agreement.
Probably.
Because you're
That's what I
modifying
would've thought.
the term. So no lawsuit.
Yeah,
I
hate the idea.
I don't know.
I've forfeited my money. I cannot get it back.
Well, but you shouldn't have cheated.
True.
Yeah, it's true. I just hate that idea.
If
Well,
the game was
I think
released,
it's a bit drastic.
Yeah.
But I think drastic is sometimes what things need.
Mm.
If things were a lot more drastic, you would have a lot less cheers. I mean, people nowadays, it's easy to cheat, and then they tell you off, or don't cheat, you get so long ban. And it's like, oh, big deal. I'll go play something else for a little bit.
Hmm.
Whereas if they say, right, you're not playing, simple as that. If you want to play the game, rebuy the game.
I agree with Valve's stance. If you're playing a full game or something like that and you're caught cheating, you get a warning and then you get banned. Right? I'm pretty sure they sent out a warning first.
I don't know if they did.
Yeah, but you're saying this is because
Okay.
this is an alpha.
They used to.
It's different, but strictly speaking, it's still the game. It's just an early access of the game. Just because the game isn't 100% done, you still shouldn't be doing this. I mean, if they never addressed this issue and the game went full tomorrow, these people would still be cheating. So does that change it because now it's a full game?
I guess maybe to me it depends on the severity of the cheat.
Yeah.
I think this really comes down to, is it a cheat or is it an exploit? Like we were talking about a while back. If they are running certain, scripts or hacks to cheat at the game, then they should be banned. If there's an exploit in the game because it's not quite finished, maybe you can create more wood or whatever you want, then that's not so bad. That's not exactly extreme. That's just finding a glitch and using it.
Well, why do we not like cheaters? Because they ruin the experience of the game. This isn't the game. This is an alpha or beta. So no experience is technically ruined yet. You're only ruining your own experience.
But you've got other people who have put down the same money as you. So it's swings around.
I know. Yeah, it's tough.
I think the compromise is you should be banned from that build of the game.
Yeah, until the game's released, then you can do a full ban. That's how I don't know. Maybe I see a gray area in here.
The way I see it is you cheated. You actively did that. I mean, it is. Breezy's right. It does depend on whether it's an exploit or a cheat. But that aside, if you're actively running hacks or scripts or whatever to win the game, if you even can win that game, I don't know.
I don't think you can.
Then that's something you did. That's a choice you made. Therefore, accept the consequences. Unless you accidentally get banned, I suppose. But
that happens too.
I don't think the fact that it's an alpha beta should even make any difference. I mean, I guess what you're saying is the fact that it's alpha and that it's not final. So if people are cheating, it's like, well, it's not the full game, so we haven't released it properly
Right, so
yet.
kick out the
finalized.
cheaters for the moment.
Yeah. But it's just like, well, start with a lesson. Make some examples of people.
And people might say, I didn't know I was cheating.
Yeah. I don't see the difference between alpha and full release when you're just running hacks, because chances are they're probably going to run the same hacks when the full release. I don't think it's a difference.
Looking at the comments, some people, since this is a Steam played game, some people want them banned from their Steam accounts over this too. That I can't argue with, being Steam.
Banning a whole account. I don't mind banning them from a game, but banning a whole account is a bit harsh.
Yeah.
But then that's exactly what Valve does. They shut your Steam account.
Yes.
Do they? Is it the entire account, or?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the entire account.
You lose every game you paid for through them.
Yep.
That's insanity.
I actually don't have a problem with that. Yet I have a problem with this.
Yeah, so
I don't understand.
It's just got to be. I think it's just you're getting hung up on the fact that it's an alpha, it's not a full release version.
Yes, I think I am. I see a gray area in there.
And
as a result.
I slightly agree with you. The fact that it's not a full. It's like, well, it's only a demo almost.
Yeah.
But I don't see the difference between that and being banned on Steam. Like, I don't. If you're using hacks, then
when you download an early access game, do you still sign up to the same terms and conditions?
Usually they're slightly different. I mean,
does it still cover that? I mean, if in the terms and conditions, even of an alpha game, if it says you are not supposed to hack in it, then they are breaking the rules.
Yeah. And they should be pulled from beta or alpha access. I don't know about banning them from the game that they purchased. That hasn't been released yet. See, that's my problem.
But these early access games, essentially the game is released. It's
Mhm.
early access, but they are released. They are
Mhm.
when you buy them, you get to play them. It's released. It may not be complete, and that's where the early access comes into it.
Mhm.
But the game is out.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
That's how I see it. Despite the words early access, I am giving you money, and now I am downloading your game. That game is out.
Yeah. In a way. But in your argument, you can complain about the bugs.
But
I
yeah,
complain
like,
about the bugs either way.
it still does come down to the fact of, is it an exploit or is it actively running something?
Mhm.
Because if it's an exploit, then no, you shouldn't be banned at all. Because you're just doing something that they haven't fixed yet.
Right. But if you're going in there purposely trying to ruin the
running around with
gameplay,
an aimbot or something, then
yeah.
you should be banned for it.
Yeah, okay. All right, let's do a follow-up on another topic that we talked about last week, the Flappy Birds thing. So we talked about how Flappy Birds was the creator was getting a lot of angry letters over it. Somebody found the angry letter generator and started sending it to him.
We still have that, don't we?
Yeah, somewhere, yes. And so what he did was he pulled the app completely. And then his argument for pulling it was not because he found himself crying in the corner over all the angry letters, but rather it was because, he says, too many people were complaining about how they were addicted to the game. So he did it for everyone's own good.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what's funny about this is, like, literally within a few hours after we talked about this,
Mm-hmm.
he pulled it, and in my
Yep.
head, you made that happen.
You're right.
That's not true in any way, but I like to think that's what happened.
We're that influential. Yes, we are. But I don't know. It did seem questionable how he got to the top of the ranks so quickly. I am convinced that he used some sort of service that allows him to put in false downloads to make it seem like the most downloaded game ever, and put him at
See,
the top
you
of
say
iTunes.
that though, but when
'Cause
that
they
first
exist.
came out, everyone had it. Like everyone I know had it on their phone, whether it be Android, Apple phone, they had it.
That's funny because I didn't know anyone that knew of it until the article came out.
I was back in Chicago. I was at my sister's house, and my little niece was playing it, and she remarked how it was #1, and it just came out earlier that day. I don't know how she found out about it, but
Doesn't this game have in-app purchases?
no,
Is it pay to play?
No,
No,
it's free
completely free.
download.
Absolutely free. Okay.
just in-game ads are what's making
Because
money.
because it wasn't anywhere near the top hundreds list for top grossing. So I was wondering about that.
Yeah, it's in-game ads. It's helicopter. It's helicopter with a different skin and
It is.
a very fast sort of replay button.
Yeah, now you can sell it. You're absolutely right, Jono. Somebody turned around, or a bunch of people decided to throw their unlocked phone up onto eBay with the game installed on it, saying, "Here you go. Now you can still keep playing the game. Just buy it from me on eBay for $1,000." And people are bidding.
Yeah, I bet they were.
God.
Wow.
They are willing to pay thousands of dollars in some cases. I saw somebody bid up to $10,000 and then they pulled it off of eBay, which I don't know why, but so I wanted to try and get a screenshot of that and see what was going on, and I couldn't. I think that was like on Monday or Tuesday. So yeah,
Insanity.
but Iron Pants is a game that's very similar, and that one's at the top of the ranks. They're calling a Flappy Bird clone. Because cloning's okay. Apple agrees with it, apparently.
Clones of clones now.
Yeah.
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 It's all
Packet
fine
of
to completely fine to copy somebody's work.
Sure.
Yeah. Apple endorsed.
It is, right? I think it's ridiculous, and it kind of frustrates me that Apple allows such a thing.
I wonder if somebody started releasing cloned iPhones.
Well, yeah, there's what they call kerfs. They're all over the
Yeah.
place.
People were like, "Oh, yeah, Apple, yeah, no, it's fine." I'm fairly sure they wouldn't.
No, they don't. That's why
They
Samsung and
can
Apple are in the courts together.
and send like a van full of lawyers to your
Mm-hmm.
house. But yeah, it's okay on the store for them to steal other people's work as long as it's other people's work.
Yup.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of sick. We need some decent programmers, some people that actually have unique ideas, original
Street.
thoughts.
And integrity to not steal from others.
Yeah. All right, so we got the which is not in our topics list, and I'm about to talk about the somebody who came up with an article, the pros and cons of modding. But right before I do that, I want to mention you guys get an email from Kickstarter if you ever signed up, saying,
No.
"Hey,
I've
I'm
never
sorry,
signed up.
every single account and password has been hacked on our site. So would you please change your passwords?"
Oh God. I'm not giving other people my money. I haven't got a Kickstarter account anyway. I haven't got any money to give away. I don't want to.
So now some people are thinking, you know what? We need to come up with a Kickstarter on how to not get hacked, or let's start a new site called Punch Starter instead of Kickstarter.
God.
All right, so somebody came up with this video here, the pros and cons of modding. And basically it's just this guy doing a short little bit on what he likes, why he hasn't liked modding in the past, but how he's grown to like it. So it's not really like a list of here's what's good and here's what's bad, but it's why this particular guy changed his opinion on, well, I hope it's wow, that's an awful download I got, isn't it?
First, some housekeeping since I haven't done one of these in a while. The name I use for my short episodes is
Don't care.
changed from a blip. Also, these short episodes are back with Patreon support. Yay! Expect the format on them to vary, though.
Nope, don't care.
Is this Gabe Newell? He sounds like
No.
Regardless, these videos show my
I don't hear any
style
food flapping from his mouth as he's talking.
remain more rigid in their structure. Got it? Good. Onto the meat of this thing.
Okay,
So this
yes.
episode is going to make me sound very old media-y and not hip or with it. But I'm just going to come out and say it. I've always found mods to be kind of weird. I don't mean total conversions, like how Counter-Strike or the Stanley Parable started as mods but eventually became their own thing. I mean modifications to a base game that take the original extant content or mechanics and change them around in different ways. Sometimes they fix perceived deficiencies in the main game, like how the duct tape mod for Doom 3 let players keep the flashlight and the gun up at the same time. Sometimes they try
the
to
duct
improve the
tape mod.
aesthetic experience with higher resolution textures or models. Sometimes they just change the flavor of mechanics by introducing a new rule or system, like how Frostfell tracks how cold the player is in Skyrim. And all of that is really cool. Mods allow players to reframe the experience to their liking. They can revitalize old games, build on what's there, and customize the experience for players itching to make a game better conform to their expectations.
So why does he hate it?
But as a game critic, I've always had a really awkward, uncomfortable relationship with mods. And that stems, I think, from two key places. First, there's the questionable value of criticism in a world where games are malleable objects. If I make an observation about one set of mechanics and their visual representation, does that analysis have value when everyone else is running a different set of mechanics and visual representations? I mean, that duct tape mod in Doom 3 felt like it undercut one of the few good decisions the game had going for it, forcing players to choose between
That was a
visibility
good
and protection at
decision.
any given moment.
Mm-hmm.
If any part of the game was scary at all, it was because of that conflict.
Yeah, he's got to find the action.
Right. So what he's saying is that mods are cheats, and he doesn't like cheating. But I think it's nice. I'm gonna turn that down.
That game's harder.
But right, some mods make them harder, some make them easier, but it's the player's choice to install and decide to go that way with a mod. Just like the cheats that are available in Skyrim. There's a whole list available online where you can just type in and do all kinds of crazy stuff. Don't use it if you want to keep the pure aesthetics of the game and you want to keep it the way it was meant to be, the way the developers or designers saw it, not the developers really.
It's never forced.
Right.
And also his point about, like, he's a game critic, so how can he review stuff if they, different people using it? Well, you're not really, mods shouldn't be reviewed that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because it's not something that's, like, the same for everybody.
Some of that history was lost, but these days I've made peace with the idea. First of all, I realized that mods aren't really a new thing.
Okay, so yeah, he doesn't like mods for that reason. But in the end, he's you can see what he's saying, and he goes and does comparisons like how there's all kinds of director cuts and special cuts of movies. Those are mods. Those are someone's reimagined idea of what the original content was. In the end, it's just somebody blah blah blah, and he's not really going anywhere. But I thought it was interesting to bring up that point on what people think about games.
I think it's putting on new clothes on sort of an old game. Or
Oh, I want to play GTA as Woody. That looks fun.
And it's
I
optional.
mean, I don't think having the option to mod a game is ever a bad thing.
Right.
Because as you say, it is something you don't
Unless
have
you're
to
EA.
use. Unless you are, of course, yeah. But you don't have to use them. But usually, the parts of games that I enjoy the most are some sort of mod.
After you've played the
Or-
original, though.
Right.
Well, I'll play the original. I'll
Yeah.
get annoyed at certain aspects of the original, and then usually there'll be a mod to sort out that. So I'll probably play the game again without that annoyance.
Well, look at
Okay.
Armor. Armor 3 is basically one giant mod. It's stuff that was
Yes.
put together by the community, and the developers kind of just went, yeah, that's good. Let's do that.
Side tangent, Welshie, have you seen the new thing coming out for Arma 3?
I have indeed the
That's good.
dynamic multiplayer that they're gonna have going.
Is that the one where you can be like a dungeon master almost?
Yeah, for anyone that hasn't seen
Essentially,
it, it's,
yeah.
one you're gonna have a commander like you always do, but it's kind of that guy is gonna be able to generate the mission as dynamically as people play through it. So I can go, okay, these guys are doing quite well. Let's throw some tanks at them.
Yeah.
Okay, they
That's
broke the tanks.
awesome.
Let's chuck in a gunship and have them do an aerial fight against some,
Hmm.
kind of like how Left 4 Dead, if you think of Left 4 Dead, it had that AI director
Mhm.
that would like scale things and do things like that. It's that, but it's a human person doing it.
Yeah.
So now
That
you can
sounds
have
really
these
fun.
massive playthroughs of multiplayer missions where it's
I
completely
suppose
different.
that kind of fits because that actual thing was a mod. It was called the MCC mod, which Bohemia have now taken and actually turned it into a
MCC, huh?
Bohemia signed off.
I believe they call Nick Zeus or something.
Zeus, yes.
That's the name I heard.
It's cool, it's now you can have people. It'd be like they have almost like dungeon masters, literally, like people that depict your game for you.
That sounds really fun to me.
I mean, it could be horrible because you'll have people that just oh, here's 800 tanks on your head.
You get to tell a story and make it up as you go along.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to see it actually in action, it's the mod, but go on YouTube and type in Jester. He does a series where he does that. Scales it for his clan.
Well, it's not just, you can also consider what these developers are putting out as mods. All this DLC stuff is a addition or a modification of the game that you originally purchased. We have Rockstar that put out a whole bunch of stuff for Grand Theft Auto Online just in the name of Valentine's Day. The Valentine's Day Massacre special, where they did some really interesting stuff, though. They didn't just here's some video coming up. They didn't just put this Valentine's Day Massacre like missions or something going on in there, because don't forget they also have the online version of the game here. I'm just sort of skipping along a little bit in this video, showing you how they have the old-time guns and outfits. But now we can get into these outfits that you can buy in the stores. Interesting shirts or flapper dresses, okay. But then they also have some hand signals. I was watching a video where people were throwing kisses to each other. So those are the kind of mods that you'd expect other players to come up with.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's a mod of. Oh, it's supposed to be an old car that you can do the massacre thing in. I don't know. We should put Arma on mods online? Huh? I guess he means Bohemia Interactive. Okay. So you get the idea. Mods are not just created by the community, but also, I think, by the developers themselves.
Yeah. There was I think it could have been Skyrim or Oblivion, but one of the creators of the game actually made a mod for it. It was really popular. I don't know what it was because I don't own either of those games.
You mean
but
one of the developers of the team?
yeah.
Oh.
Yep. Just kind of went off on his own. I think same thing happened with Torchlight.
I don't know. That seems like a conflict of interest. If somebody in my office did that, I don't know if I would like it.
Well,
I guess it would
but
depend.
they do it and it's free. It's not like they're charging anything for it.
Yeah, but you're you're possibly using resources that you had access to and no one else had access to. It's a conflict. It's an ethical
You're right about that.
choice.
But if they use the same mod tools that you released, I don't know. In that case, you are using your knowledge, your intimate knowledge.
I don't know. Because also you're, in a way, a representative of the company. And therefore you immediately become a representative of the game, and producing content for it makes you viable. I don't know. I guess it depends.
It's a gray area.
Yeah.
It is a very grey area.
Okay. So another kind of mod that might be out there is this mini expansion for Path of Exile, which I haven't played in the longest time.
Yeah, I haven't played it since we played it.
Is it really
How long
expensive?
ago was that? Years?
Yeah, I don't think I could play it again. We played it twice. Once when it was originally announced, thanks to a PAX release, and then again we saw them at PAX, and we got another release that allowed us to play the game almost as it was before it released. I guess it was a beta. And I haven't played it since. Even though I have the game itself, I just haven't been inspired to replay the game, because that's what I would feel like I'm doing.
Well, it's
I,
completely free to play, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a free-to-play game, yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
I
haven't
feel
played
like
it,
we've
so-
played it so much already that I just have no desire to continue to play.
Did you all beat it?
No.
Yeah, I got kind of far in it. I don't think I got to the third act. I think there's
I did.
3.
There were 3. I played it to the end when it was in beta.
It
There was
it
no
seems
real ending.
fun.
I thought it was missing some stuff, and I would have liked to keep going, but I couldn't. That was it. But now they have this thing out here called Sacrifice of the Vaal. That's going to be available on March 5th, it says in the release.
A friend of mine was all over this game, so he'll be happy.
Yeah, I like it. It's currently uninstalled, but that's just because I want to reduce the number of installed games I had, because there's kind of this paralysis. When it's like, what should I play? There's so many things. I guess I'll play anything. But I thought it was solid. I'm glad to see additional content is going to come, because that was one of my things I was worried about, was that it's like you can keep adding all this optional cosmetic stuff, and that's fine, but if it's the same content over and over again, that's going to be a problem. But I know they did add something in a patch a while ago, where it was sort of like once you beat the game, you got these, I don't know exactly what they were, but let's just call them scrolls, and you could basically sort of dynamically create your own custom game environment. So you can go through and have these weird procedural challenges. And I mean, in a game like that, I feel like that's all you really can do.
Yeah. Well, whenever you think of changing games and modifying and all that kind of stuff, people don't usually think of these little games unless they happen to be in that little bit of a community. I think most people think of the most moddable games coming from Steam, because they just have
Yeah.
a good set of tools with good documentation and good developer support. That's the big part. That's something that everybody else has given up on.
I don't know if you can still do this, but you used to be able to just email like somebody at Valve and go, "Hey, how did you do this?" And
Yeah.
they'll usually tell you. I don't know if they still do that, but they used to.
Well, they just recently
But
had.
it's got to the point where do you even need to do that?
Well, no, because it's
Every
all obviously
time
online.
I've had an issue, you just look on YouTube, someone has done a video on,
Yeah.
oh, you can't do this? Oh, this is how you do it. Because it's the same tools every single
Yeah,
time
yeah.
for all the
It's-
games. It's already been explored.
Yeah, it's why I can look at something like Insurgency and go, well, we could do this because I know it can work in the Source Engine because I've already done it.
Hmm. Well, they just had a conference recently that was not available to everyone. Specifically, was not available to media, but it was not. That's not what it was about. It was about getting developers together and talking about what the games can do. And I think it was Valve's way of not just reaching out to the community and making them a little more tight knit, but also to see what kind of feedback they can get and perhaps what kind of information they can learn from the developers to see what they can implement. But they came up with a series of YouTube videos that is now available for anyone to watch. I mean, we have the little intro that goes on to show what was going on over at the Steam Dev, how it was very much like a conference. Go into a hall, pick up your pass, get frisked. No, but
Was in Seattle, so dodge the sea of homeless people.
Yes, yes, yes. And so they went on and talked about a number of things here. I'm going to throw up a welcome address that came in from Gabe. You can watch the welcome if you want, where Gabe goes on to talk about it. I don't know. I didn't actually listen to the whole thing, but a number of things regarding Valve. And then but there's some other topics in here that you can pick up on, such as Steam machines in 2014. So you can see what the real discussion is on that. And I am interested in watching some of these because I want to know what is their goal of Steam machines, and is that what this discussion is? This says this discusses what they learned so far from their public beta testing, but it does not necessarily discuss what their original goal of the Steam machine was and what they hope from it. I'm hoping to learn some of that. It goes on to the Steam controller. Don't really care about the Steam controller, but maybe some of you want to find out why they're going without joysticks and trying to come up with something original. Is it just for the sake of being original, or is there another reason behind it? The economics of Team Fortress 2 and Dota 2, embracing user-generated content, something that the reason why we're discussing this. Getting started with Linux game development, because they are trying to expand their Linux libraries. Marketing your game. It's a very difficult topic, and I'm betting that it only touches on the topics and doesn't actually get into the finer points because there's just too many. Music in Valve games and media. Moving your games to OpenGL. Community and communications as a game as service. Unite we win collaboration and co-working around the world, which is very, very big now. The idea that you're not that you just have studios around, but that you have a number of developers, especially as a modding community. How do you all work on a game together? And that's really what this is, co-working around the game, around the world. And that is really important. And also it's important for small developers for that ability. I know that we're currently upgrading our studio with some ways for us to allow for teams to work together, so that not only can we just work in the office together, but so that we can work from home and still work on the same content wherever we are, rather than saying, okay, I'm going to work on this game, so I'm going to take all the files, and when I come back, I'll share them. That's not enough. How can you all work on a game that way?
VPN?
Sort of like VPN is what this is, sure. Using something like Perforce, or it could be Git, or it could be something that allows you to check out or work with files together and then merge the changes that are in the end. Getting started with debugging on Linux, and well, there's a number of topics that goes on and on. Steam is a business, virtual reality stuff, and that's where it ended up. And you can take a look at the PowerPoint presentations, the PDF discussions, as well as a YouTube video of it happening. I think that's very nice that they release those videos.
Yeah,
it's important.
I'd like to give them a watch.
Mm-hmm.
I say I'll give them a watch, but I probably won't.
I might. I'll do it during work and call it a work-related thing.
Work-related. I like it. I like this plan.
And then Steam comes up and says, we're making tags. We're going to introduce tags, ways that you can tag, put in certain words on games, so that you can more easily find games that you are interested in.
So,
but of course,
like the internet.
Yes, like the internet, except now you can just hop onto Steam and see what kind of and search a tag and come up with Um,
I
like-
could see where they're going with this idea,
mhm.
but it's never going to work.
Because of how people are. That's why.
Abuse the tags.
Exactly. It's
Yes.
the prime example of people ruining it.
Yes, that's exactly what's
That's why I
happening.
referenced
got-
the. That's why I
Visually,
referenced the
yeah, nice
internet
things.
because
Yeah.
how many times have you looked at the tags for for a website and seen just tons of stuff in it that's got nothing to do with the website?
Hmm.
It's yeah.
It's just one of those things. You write it down on paper and you think, yes, brilliant idea. As soon as you get someone else involved, it all goes downhill.
Because now you get like 200 games with the word like Call of Duty in it.
Call of Garbage, I think I saw somewhere, and
Forget that. It won't even be that precise. You'll have like 100 games with the word penis on it.
Yeah.
trying to think of where I did see that though. The tags for Call of Duty was crazy.
The bottom one's the best. Hipster garbage.
Yeah,
Love that.
I can't find that image now, but I saw it somewhere
There,
before.
There were a few games I know that had received tags that just said "not a game."
It's just poor quality, bad dog.
But this is actually live, isn't it? This is already up and running.
I think so.
Oh yeah, this is happening now. Oh, there it is.
Choked on it.
Hang on, you can tag games you don't even own.
Yeah, let's see it.
Spreadsheet simulator. That's funny.
Let's see.
I
Here it
can
is.
understand being able to tag something you've bought and played, but I've still got the Rust up on my Steam here, and I can add my own tags. I don't even own the game.
It's just it's just the most pointless thing ever. It just if anybody's done any web development, you'll know about tags. Like it's just like yeah, people just put the word lesbian 400 times in their website tags, so that when somebody searches, it's just like it's the dumbest thing ever. It's like it doesn't work. It's no.
I'm surprised that this didn't extend to your own personal library, so that when you categorize your own games, you could
Oh,
sort of type in something and filter in
right.
games that meet that tag.
Well, here's tags for Call of Duty as of whenever this picture was taken. Garbage, fish AI, bad, poor quality, dog, crap, usual, joke, dog, D-O-G-E, I don't know. Collar Duty, buggy, noob game, not so tactical, doom clone, FPS, spooky, I don't know, action.
Spooky.
I guess because of the
Ghost.
ghosts, I don't know.
It's just. Yeah, it's just pointless. People are just gonna put shit in there. It's gone. It has no purpose.
Mhm.
Other than it's a little bit funny.
Well, you can report tags too. Steam will allow you to report them as offensive or abusive
Who
or
is
something.
doing this though? Who is going through going? Yeah, that tag's not right. Report that. That's. Who gives a fuck? I don't need these kind of tags. I can look at the screenshots and go, right, I can see what kind of game this is. I do not need tags for that.
I don't need. I can make decisions on my own.
You can blame this on Twitter and text messaging because
Yeah.
that's what this is. It's a really, really short way for you to review a game, or that's what it's supposed to be.
One word, yeah.
Well, this is supposed to help you make better decisions for you. So
Well, no,
We
but then
can't-
it leads into the next topic of now you don't even have to make decisions because now you can go recommended by Steam, and they'll tell you
Yeah.
what to buy.
right, exactly. That's
It's like,
what we get
who
into.
is buying games on one-word recommendations anyway? Like every time I buy a game, I'm like, oh, I might buy it. Let's have a look on YouTube. Let's see if anyone's playing it. Let's have a look at any reviews and that sort of thing.
That's because you can think for yourself, Breezy.
Ah, right.
The people that buy Call of Duty games buy it on the word released.
Well, there is that. Yeah, but the thing is, they don't have to look at playthroughs and reviews because they've already played it, so they know what they get.
Yeah. And yet they'll buy it again.
Yeah, 'cause it's got a dog in it. It's got a dog.
Dog. Come here, dog.
Speaking of that recommendation thing, if I actually click on that recommended by Steam, I get 3 games. I get Recoil, next car game, and Daisy. 3 games which I will
Where'd
not
you
be
see
playing.
this? Where'd you see this?
If you go to your
Oh,
Steam,
I got it. I got it.
and
I
it's
got it.
at the start.
I have recommended for Breezy Special Forces Team X,
What?
Doom 3, and Forced.
Hmm.
You do have a versatile library though, Breezy. So I don't know.
Recently updated. What do I get? Oh, that's just. Oh, that's that. That recent. See, the recently updated thing is actually quite cool. Because it kind of tells you what's going on with the games. I like
Yes.
to know when people release stuff, what they actually did.
Yeah, we talked about that last week, I think. Yeah,
Yep.
that is a good idea. All right.
I'm glad it doesn't look for trends because my library is all over the place.
Yeah.
Well, if you're looking for what games are coming out and when, Kotaku recently put out a library of game releases, which you might want to check out. And I don't know if anybody. I'll post it. There you go. There's a link. And it goes all the way. They got March dates in there, April, September.
Is there actually anything decent on there? Mine's still loading.
If you like Elder Scrolls Online,
No.
um, what is decent? Well,
Nothing.
Infamous is not a bad game, except I don't think it's on the PC.
It's not even loading for me, that page.
Titanfall dates.
Oh, Harry Potter: The Hogwarts Collection.
Oh, there you go.
Yes.
$170. Jesus Christ.
Any Nancy Drew?
Oh, that's not a game. That's a DVD.
Yeah, some of these are hardware even, like the Xbox
Ah.
One headset adapter when that's being released.
Oh, I forgot to mention the other day. I was actually talking to someone about laptops, and he actually asked me whether it would be able to play Nancy Drew. I'm not lying. That was
Wow.
his words because he likes the Nancy Drew collection.
Wow.
So people do play it.
How could you not? That's
It was actually
more
Ham.
important.
It was Ham on Skype.
Yeah, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Mario Golf, the World Tour. I'm all over that. Mario Kart 8, because they didn't say all they need to say with the first 7.
It's never
There's
enough.
still stories untold.
There's a good 6 or 7 more Rainbow Roads to go.
Yep.
All right. I received an email this week from Hawken saying we're preparing to move our game over to Steam, which is free to play, by the way. So here's your Steam key, so you can just throw it in there and get the game through there and start using it on Steam. And
But if it's free to play, do you need a Steam key? Is
They
there any
gave
need
you
for them to give you that?
I think you have to be. I think you have to use Steam because they're integrating Steam in it permanently, kind of deal.
All right, but if it's free to play, why do you need a key? Can't you just download it?
Yeah, good question. I don't know, but they sent me one. Maybe it's because I don't know
Early
why.
access or something?
Maybe that's what it is. It's unlisted, so you get a key and then it's listed or something.
I'll tell you now.
But this
I got an email. I never read it because they sort of spammed me. I was wondering what that was.
Oh, maybe I got it and just didn't notice.
No, Hawken is on Steam at the moment. They are Hawken Early Access.
okay. I couldn't find it on the Steam yet. Maybe it wasn't listed when I got the email.
There's no download button.
No.
Hmm.
Basically, you got an email if you open up a Hawken account prior to February 4th.
I don't think I have an account.
Stupid ads.
Oh, it doesn't
I've got
matter.
an
I'm not
account,
gonna
but
play
I
the
never
game.
got that. Well, I never saved that email.
I'm looking through and I'm just like, yeah, I don't know when I'm gonna go back to. There it is.
And they also say something's going on
Individual
with.
access code. I don't know when back to Hawken.
I'm gonna skip the rest of it. Okay. Then here's somebody saying getting ready for the game Evolve. Evolve is going to be a. They're toting how this is. Oh, look at this great logo. It's a great idea because basically it's 4 players, 4 humans against 1 giant monster. So they're like, oh, look at the logo. But really, it's just a promo to say, hey, here comes our game Evolve. Something you might be interested in. And
Isn't Evolve the same people that made Left 4 Dead?
I
Yeah,
think
Total Rock.
so.
It is, isn't it? It's their
Yeah.
new project.
Yeah.
Oh, it's in Turtle. Was it Turtle Rock?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this one's gonna have jetpacks of some sort and monsters.
I
So
saw a video of commentary, maybe 6 or 7 minutes long, of Evolve, and my simplest description of it would be it's a boss fight. It's a game where one player gets to play the boss, and the other 4 gets to play the people fighting the boss. It's so it's just boss fights.
It's not a bad idea, really. I mean, you're narrowing down
yeah.
a specific type of element within an MMO or something like that, where you go up against the boss as a team, and then that's what it's all about. That's it.
Yeah, I would have actually, oddly enough, I would have wanted to see something like this transported to Left 4 Dead, where there's an actual boss at the end versus 2 tanks while you wait it out.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's what this is.
Obviously, you can see the relationship between this and Left 4 Dead, just as you pointed it out.
Yeah.
And I can't help but look at this and think, is this sort of like I keep seeing these tractor beams or something, like I think of Ghostbusters, or
Don't cross the streams.
yeah. Okay, so it's like the Team Fortress medic gun is really what that is. You got the tracker and the assault.
They want to find him, catch him, and then ultimately kill him.
So, as the boss, you're spending your time running away from them until you get found? Maybe there's a timer.
That's
Do you
what
know?
it seems like, yeah.
What they've done is they've as they've given you some opportunity for growth as well. In that there's little NPCs around the island that both the sort of hunters and you can kill, and you can sort of fight those things, and little corpses you can eat up. And so basically they call it Evolve because as the boss, when you fight and basically get points or whatever you need to from these other NPCs, you have the opportunity to level up, basically.
To evolve your character. Okay.
Yeah, so when it starts off, it's a little one-sided in that the four hunters can actually probably do a lot of damage and easily kill
And that is why you would run from them.
And that's why you would run from and kind of do your own thing until you can level up, and then it comes back where now you're super powered and they need to run away from you. So
Well, now it's more interesting to me.
yeah, so there's some hide and seek at the start.
That sounds good. If you, as the boss player, you can sort of navigate the map a bit better than the 4 players.
Yeah,
Because if you're stuck in certain channels, it's going to be very difficult. Whereas if you can sort of use special entrances and things like that, it'd be a lot more interesting.
yeah, and in a little commentary I saw too, there's certain sort of telltale signs, I guess, depending upon the map, where you can, as the hunters, you can track where this boss guy might be, because you can look at footprints on the ground to see that, oh, he's this way, or birds might sort of rustle and fly out somewhere from a different part of the map, and it's like he's over there. So
I'd give it a go.
yeah, I wasn't too interested, and then after I saw the little gameplay video with some commentary, I was like, okay, this might not be bad.
Okay.
I feel like at the moment it looks pretty good, and I'd probably try it. But I've also got this sort of weary feeling that this is going to end up a lot like Primal Carnage, where we thought it was going to be brilliant. We played it for like 2 days, and then we were like, yeah, I'm done now.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I could see that.
Just a bit weary of that.
Yeah, it could be. All right, a few more. Let's get a few more in here, such as Borderlands 3. Don't expect it.
Really? Oh.
Shot down.
Yeah, they're not planning on making it. And I understand after the last one, they kind of put everything into it, and it was like not as well received as some of the previous versions. So I don't know if they
This
can do
is
anything
actually,
better to it.
This is actually someone who's gone, right.
Yeah.
Okay, that one's done. We're done with that now.
You're right. Yes.
Finally.
Thank you, Gearbox.
Well, there is that Telltale
Try it 5
game
or 10
based in the
years.
Borderlands universe.
Yeah, there's that one. I don't know if that counts.
Yeah, probably not.
Somebody's fan. Okay. Moving on over to this other one that I saw that actually I was completely uninterested in until I started really watching the video that came along with it. I was like, this looks so boring, yet I kind of want to play it a little bit just to see what it's like to play it. Car Mechanic Simulator.
Oh, God, really?
It is exactly what you think it is. You're looking in on the car. You get... Wait. Let's get up. Okay. So you get the car that comes in. No. And I'm trying to rewind it just right here. Although we already started the car. Work on a car. I'm trying to find one where right from the beginning. There it is. Okay, so those of you who are watching the video as I'm talking, you get your invoice in and it says, okay, you've got to do this to the car. Somebody wrote the note in that says, and now it just says loading for me as it's loading the next scene. So I can't even read it. Okay, it says, I hit something on a bumpy road and I assume one of the exhaust pipes is broken. Examine it, please. Or another one where the car makes a funny noise when I turn.
Well, don't turn then.
Yeah, simple as that.
So you have to find out what's wrong with it and you have to fix it. You have to go to the computer, look up the part, purchase it, then install it.
Oh my god.
Turning
like
each
Cooking
bolt.
Cooking long for cars.
But they did it in a way that does not look completely tedious.
I don't know. It looks pretty bad.
I don't know. It could be fun if you want to be a mechanic.
Mm.
Although I would argue that if you are a mechanic, you wouldn't want to come
No.
home and fix cars. It's kind of like me coming home and playing like IT Repairman Simulator.
Sort of like a Papers, Please for IT men.
Windows 8
Yeah.
installer simulator.
Yeah. So I don't want to do that.
Now, will this help me fix my own car?
No.
Yeah, you know what I think would
Yeah,
help
this
you.
This is like a guide.
Yeah.
It kind of. There are some things in there that'll get you, like, if something certain is happening, you can go and take a look at what could be the cause. It's not going to actually help you fix it.
I don't think so. So
You do? In this
no,
one-
because that would be like, oh, I play hours and hours of like Kerbal Space Program. I could be an astronaut.
Well, one of the ones, which this guy, maybe he's not very smart, he couldn't figure out. And he ended the video that way. The faster I drive, the louder this noise is, and I also noticed that the lights on the dashboard are weaker. What do you think? I knew the
Power
answer.
Issue.
Hmm?
Power issue. So
Exactly.
Like the battery.
So
Yeah.
he thought the battery too, but why would the battery be the issue if it only occurs the faster you go?
Because the battery's charged by the wheels turning. I'm just guessing now.
Very close, very close. But what it is it was the alternator, the thing that charges the battery.
There you go. See, I was close.
You were close, but this guy couldn't figure that part out. He went for the battery, and then he was just like started to remove things from the engine and said, I don't know.
So
Maybe we should start.
if in that way that this game is going to get, I assume it gets harder as you go.
Yes, I think so.
If you don't know about cars, by the sort of end levels, you are just fucked. You
Yes.
have no idea. Just clicking on everything.
You've got parts all over this. All over.
It gets to the point where you actually go to a local like garage just to ask.
Yeah,
So
I'm gonna call Pet Boys and tell them I'm playing this and say,
Yeah.
what could it be? I like that.
that's funny.
Yep.
Maybe they
Okay.
could have this. They could have it in an actual garage and show people what's wrong with their cars.
And then do you at the end of this do you get to like fix it and then charge people like 4 times the price?
In this, yes, this one that happens, and then as you make more money, you get to upgrade your shop and stuff like that.
The painful thing is, I'm really tempted to buy this.
Yes,
But
that's.
I don't know why. I just want to try it.
I have the
Seems
same
like
problem.
It would be really fun to just get slightly drunk, check on like Twitch or something, and just play Mechanic Simulator.
Do you know what? I'm just gonna buy it. Fuck it. I'm gonna do it.
See, it says here WASD to walk around the car. You can even take the car out to the track and like crash it into things. And I don't know if it actually gets damaged, and you have to fix that too when you're done.
Next
there's
week
demo
there
of
will
it.
be
There's
there will be a review of Car
Will be a
Simulator next week.
Car Mechanic Simulator.
Yep.
There is a demo,
Mm.
and they've got a
Don't need it.
4x4.
Just bought it. Just bought it.
Okay.
We've got an add-on coming on.
Maybe it'll work on my laptop. I'll play it then. All right, one more thing here that I wanted to talk about now that Ham's with us. Nope, not that one. This one. John Carmack, who quit id Software, and his reasons behind it. Because they wouldn't support VR games.
What's that? That's
Mm-hmm.
the truth of the matter.
He says that they wouldn't support Oculus Rift, therefore he decided to leave and join Oculus Rift as a
Wow.
developer over there.
That's a bit drastic, isn't it?
It does seem that way. I mean, I thought he had more of a say in what went on, but apparently not. I guess
Wow,
since they sold out the ZeniMax, it's now a bunch of boardroom members saying, "You
yeah.
there, be my whipping boy,
Well,
make me a
same
new
as
game."
everywhere else, isn't it?
That's probably exactly what happened.
That doesn't shock me in the slightest if that is the situation now.
Because
I mean,
after Doom 4, that's when it started to hire tons and tons of people. That's when they sort of woke up and realized, oh, for our next game, we can't spend 8 years making this game. So, but prior to Doom 4, it was a relatively small group of people, and they all sort of just sat in a room and had meetings and sort of made decisions that way. But yeah, now that they sold themselves to ZeniMax, or ZeniMax, you're probably right. It's probably about board members and what's worth investing in and them dictating things.
And Oculus is now this small company that doesn't have this board. It has a group of people who are major investors, but also do stuff within the development process. So he's one of them. Here's a bunch of my money. I'm going to now take over on getting rid of latency, because that kind of interests me, and then I'm going to get into video cards and seeing if I can make your computer smoke.
Yeah. I think Strider said it a while back, was that I think his interest started to drift a bit away from games, more into some of the components of games, specific things, and maybe that wasn't jiving with everybody with ZeniMax. They're like, look, we're here to make games, not work on making games better.
Right.
is it that, or in his mind is he thinking he has ideas for games, but there's things that need to be fixed before he can do those ideas? So he goes, right, well, I want to do this, but obviously I need to fix this first. So let's sort that out.
He's a tinkerer.
Well, yeah, I would argue that John Carmack was never a game idea person.
No.
He was always the new tech kind of
Yes.
person. It's like, check out this. I got this new idea for a new engine. Because think of games like Rage, which really wasn't just a tech demo.
But it had the what was that, mega texture?
Well, yeah. Then there was.
And that was
some
what
problems
isn't
and-
that his creation? Isn't it? Look, I can make this giant texture. Now let's make a game that go along with it.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Which didn't actually work out.
No.
But
it
irrelevant to
didn't.
that. Removing that from the conversation, it's just he's never been a game developer as such. He's
Right.
been a tech developer.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He's the guy that mods your stuff to work 10 times better than it did the first time around.
Yes. And for a while there, we knew he was working with hardware, and that was even before he decided to do the spaceship stuff.
Yeah.
And then when that failed, sort of, because he didn't win the prizes, he decided, all right, let's move on, because this isn't getting where I wanted to go.
Like, wasn't it John that locked himself in a hotel room and developed a game engine for the iPhone in like 2 days?
Yes.
Actually, yes and no. I think he went on a family trip to Hawaii, and while he was there in the hotel
well,
room,
yeah.
he made it. I think that was the
Just
story.
He got bored for 2 hours and went,
Yeah.
I'll just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like expecting John Carmack to like jump into a studio and make a game is not what's going to happen. He's going to go in and fix up your engine or come up with a completely new engine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he has excellent ideas. I'm such a big fan of his though, because those ideas end up making once they come to fruition, they make experiences or enhance experiences that you are familiar with, but it just brings them to a whole new level. And
This could be that again.
yeah, and that's what he's banking on.
Mm-hmm. So Ham's saving up for that Oculus now.
Oh, most definitely, most definitely. I'm gonna champion that thing all the way until it disappoints me, which it shouldn't.
All the way to the toilet. All right. That's it. That's what we got. That's our topics for the day. You guys want to talk about anything else?
Nope.
No.
I'm too busy downloading Car Mechanic
I
Simulator.
know. What are the
There's a
specs on that by any
4x4.
chance?
166 megabytes.
Oh,
Pure awesomeness.
there's a 4x4 update coming.
No way.
Yeah, really.
You got to put a
Pre-order
lift
that
in.
bad boy.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. All right, then on that note, I'm going to thank our host for taking the time out to chat today. Well, Sheev, thank you very much for joining us today.
No problem.
Ham, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, Breezy, thank you for joining us today.
No problem.
Okay. We will be back again next week, so come on and join us. Don't forget to check out over at MODSonair.com, MODSonline.com. Subscribing members, thank you. The rest of you, think about it. All right, see you next week. Thanks for watching this week, and come back next week when we will broadcast another live show. Details for this and all past episodes can be found at MODSonair.com. We welcome your feedback via email at mailbag@modsonair.com. And please consider subscribing to modsonline.com to support our show. The opinions expressed by individuals on this program are not necessarily the opinions of our sponsors, owners, or partners. I can see you.
I was alone, scared.
Oh, that was creepy.
I felt disconnected from the world, and there was no one there to help me. But then I met Barry, my NSA agent. And what I never realized was that Barry was always there. When I used my phone, in my kitchen, even when I got the big news. Did you do this? And while sometimes it felt pretty intrusive, I eventually realized that Barry only has my best interests at heart.
Barry, what are you doing?
It's okay. It's for freedom.
Probably.
It's going really well.
Why? To stop the terrorists and to be my friend.
Those pesky terrorists.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm Barry from
Everywhere.
the NSA. And if you're feeling lonely this Super Sunday, just look over at your cell phone, laptop, television, radiator, the crawl space in your attic, anywhere in your bedroom or inside your own body and say, hey, NSA, I need you. And we'll be there. Because we always are. And we always, always will be. The NSA. Smile, because we know when you're not.
Okay.
You know, there was this reminds me, there was a game that I ran into earlier this week, and I probably should have mentioned that as one of the last things. There's a game called Nothing to Hide, and it's a anti-stealth game, and there's a HTML5 demo. I think the guys or the people behind it are trying to raise some money to make a full-on game, but the web demo was good enough, and it's a game about how if you're not a criminal, then you should have nothing to hide. So you need to stay in view of cameras versus staying out of view of cameras. It's really clever. And if you get out of the view of the cameras, that's when you lose. And let me see if I can find it here. It's really good. And the story is told via like Facebook and Twitter post. It's very, very clever. Let me just put the link here. Here we go.
That link is from Ham's private collection.
Yeah. Don't click that one.
Wrong link.
That just happened to be his history, yes. His
That
paste
second link is what you want to go
clipboard. Second
And,
link? I only have one. Hasn't posted the second one yet. You just go to nothintohide.cc and find it.
Yeah. Well, it's BACK dot nothing to hide dot
Okay.
cc.
Find it, you damn selves.
All right, people. Go do your thing.
Go back to your homes. Nothing to see you.
Yes.
Stay indoors.
Please, it's too cold out there to do anything else. All right. Broadcast. Goodbye.